The spring of 2020, when the pandemic was at its peak in the U.S., a time when our frontline workers were treated like heroes. They were applauded in the streets, celebrated with parades. And then, as the pandemic wore on, many of them quickly fell victim to burnout or to the virus itself.
When you walk into any hospital in LA, you're going to see nurses that are Filipino. It's just the fact.
Without Filipino nurses, the U.S. healthcare in many cities would not exist.
At the height of the pandemic, these nurses saved lives.
COVID was new to the world. I didn't know how deadly this virus was, and I don't think my mom knew either.
But couldn't save their own. A disproportionate number of Filipino nurses died during the pandemic. These nurses make up 4.5% of the nursing population, but account for 25% of COVID deaths.
A number of us are able to stay at home. We are able to shelter in place and work at home. But Filipino nurses who are working on the front lines in this country don't have that privilege. And so one of the things that we can do is learn about their presence, learn about their history and the historical contributions they have made to American healthcare.
In her film, Nurse Unseen, director Michelle Hasway spotlights the role of Filipino nurses in America and the rich history of these first responders.
So a lot of this project was me just really coming to terms with my Filipino identity, seeing how my personal family history was rooted in all this broader history.
What would you say was the hardest part of putting this film together?
You know, I realized it was a much more emotional project than I had anticipated. We deal with a lot of difficult and challenging themes, such as the mental health of our healthcare workers and how a lot of them were experiencing burnout on the front lines. Our healthcare workers, our Filipino healthcare workers, are still experiencing residual emotional impact from the pandemic. You know, it's not over for them.
That will do it for us this week from Atlanta. I'm Chris Stewart. Join us next week for The Race.